Let's see. Hello. I feel so far away. As always, let me scoot a little closer. Hello. Yvette Sojourner here. Welcome. Listen, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. House is all this goodness going to be spread across the YouTubeverse and the interweb. This is a place and a space where luxury meets authenticity. Listen, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So yesterday, what had happened was, which would actually be last week for all of you, Hubs was working on a roof. I was telling my story about going through customs. And let me just say, if you have not watched that video, go and watch it. If you have not watched my Paris, France content, you should definitely hop over and watch it as well. Just go over to my channel and start perusing and clicking on those videos. How about that? Let's just put it that way. But first, finish this video because I have a couple things that I want to share with you all. Yes, there's a couple things, and guess what? There's a couple others that did not come in a box because we were traveling. So before I get ahead of myself, let me go ahead and do some housekeeping. Last week we discussed how I went through customs and the issue I had there. Listen, that's all I gotta say about that. I was not able to squeeze this unboxing in because time just flew by as I was unpacking and telling that story. And let me tell you, I'm so happy I did not. When I went to review the content, that video is so long, and that's even with bits sped up. I mean, goodness gracious, don't get me talking. Of course, you know, that is what I love to do. I love talking to all of you. This is why the videos sometimes are just long. It happens. With that being said, let's get into today's video. On our way back to the US from France, we had to go through the Paris airport. It's just how it works. Yes, and let me tell you, when it comes to luxury shopping, that is one of the best airports to go through. Do you hear me? I love the Paris airport. They have all the luxury / designer boutiques there. So I always like to go in, pop through all of the different boutiques just to see what they have. If I have time, majority of the time, we allot enough time. Painfully so for Hubs. Yes, sometimes I can be an airport dad. I'm just saying, I just like being at the airport uber early and taking advantage of the space, especially when it's a nice space like Paris. Listen. Okay, first we did our VAT, so our tax-free process. Then we went through security, and because we fly Delta One, it's just really easy to go through all of these things. After that, we saw the boutiques, and let me tell you, the boutiques were quite lovely as per usual. But as soon as we left the security line, I was waiting because I knew that Hermes boutique was somewhere close, and I was correct. So last year, that's what happened. Hubs was going through security, honey. They had to pull him aside, and I just was like, you can find me in Hermes. And I went straight to the Hermes boutique. This year, same thing, but we both just flew through security and went to the boutique. But before we got to the Hermes boutique, I had to stop over to one other location for this reveal. There is no packaging for a majority of these items because I just opted not to have the packaging, and I stopped over by Louis Vuitton. Yes, oh my goodness, I know you're thinking, Yvette Sojourner, you're not a Louis Vuitton girl. Yes, I am. When it comes to travel items, I am. I love Louis Vuitton pieces when it comes to travel. You are fully aware that while we were in Paris, I had picked up these two Nice Vanities, right? You remember this one has a strap and a lock, and this one does not. It's smaller, of course. This one's harder and more of a case, whereas this is really, really smushy and soft. I went through this already in the unboxing of these items. If you have not seen that video, I'm telling you, you need to go watch my Paris content. It is amazing. So yes, pick these up, right? I even did a little video showing how I was able to fit certain items in the vanity. Yes. So we go to Louis Vuitton. Long story short, I had already mentioned this to all of you in the previous unboxing of these items that I would pick up another one, and I did. And let me tell you, it was fabulous because when we were traveling, I put all my scarves into this one, and I put all of my belts and other accessories into this smaller one. And I was like, okay, I really like the video I did with me putting my bags inside. So much so that I knew immediately I would get another one of these cases. One for my actual toiletries and the other for this. And now I'm thinking maybe I need another one for the scarves because everything fit in there so neatly. I'm that person. I love being organized, and then if I could do it classy, oh my gosh, it's everything. So I did find this, and it was not easy to secure. I will say that much, because when we were in Paris and we picked up the first one, they did not have it at the boutique we initially went to. They had to order it, and he just told me there was only a couple boutiques that had it, but they did have it sent over, so that was perfect. But on our way out, I was telling Hubs that I was not able to find it. I just was not, and the boutique it was supposed to be at in the airport was not close to where our terminal was going to be. So I just was like, I don't know. I figure I'll just wait until I get to the US. So I checked the US site. Unfortunately for me, they were sold out. And so I had to, add my name to a wait list online. And I just was like, this is too much. So we go through and I find it there, and I was so excited about that. I'm happy to be able to share with you. I'm going to show you what bags I have in here that I have not unpacked yet. We have my Mini Kelly, yes, going straight onto the shelf after this discussion. And then I should point out that, as you can see, I keep them in the dust bag, but also with the protective bits on it so that nothing gets scratched. Now with the Mini Kelly or any Kelly bag, I do prefer to keep this kind of to the front so that that lock is protected, right? Listen, you have to think these things through. My new exotic Mini Constance, yes, that's in there. Oh my gosh, I will also share with you something hilarious. I did not know if I would be able to get this on a plane because I had her bag and I had my remove up suitcase, and yeah, that's ample, right? Of course, your vessel joiner's like, well, you just never know unless you try. A lot of times when it comes to airport shopping, a lot of the airlines allow you to bring the bags in from the airport. That made it so much easier. Last bag. The last bag in here is, of course, my new Kelly Elan. Yes, that is in there. So I will be putting these away now. In addition to that, see, this is why I love chatting with all you, because you get me organized. I will be putting my air tags in my bag. Every time I get a new bag, I always put my air tags in it. So I have to also put it in my new suitcase. So my suitcase and new Mini Constance exotic and my Kelly Elan, yes, they will definitely get an air tag. Let's move on to what you're really here for. Oh, before we move on, I do also want to add, when it comes to this vanity, I did try to put the Birkin 25 in here. Yes and no. It's just the handles. And then I tried the Constance 24, which I have right here. My Rose Constance 24. Yes. And to my surprise, it did fit. So I am going to try to put this in here so that you can see it. Let's take the strap out. Okay. And there we have it. See, it fits really nicely. The only thing you need to be mindful of is this piece here. Make sure that the bigger bag is in the front, or a bag with the handle is in the front, so that it's not pushing, causing pressure on that piece there. It was really, really interesting going into the boutique and asking for this piece because this was the last one. That was the last vanity. So I did get it, and it was even more redunculous when I was like, let me go ahead and put my bags in there. I know. I just wanted to take them out of the her bag because the her bag is not really structured. And if you bump into things, so I just wanted to have another level of protection. So we did put the 3 Hermes bags inside the vanity while we were at the boutique. Then what I did as well is I put the vanity inside Hub's duffel because he had the Louis Vuitton duffel and it fit perfectly. This vanity does not fit in her bag because of that, that shape that it has. It's just not gonna fit. It's like a triangle on the side. You cannot fit this in there, but it does fit in a duffel if for whatever reason you're packing very, very lightly and you just want to carry this and whatever it is, which in my opinion, you might as well just carry the vanity itself and the duffel both separately. So this is going to come in so handy while I'm traveling, be it within the US or outside the US. I do believe that is it for Louis Vuitton. So let's move on to what you actually came here for. There is no secrets. We have no secrets, right? We know why you're here, okay? So we finally make it to Hermes. We walked by Chanel and other places. I just was not interested. I was more interested in heading to the lounge, more so than anything else, just to relax. I had not had my cup of coffee at that point. So we make it to Hermes, and Hermes was actually under renovation. Now, oh my gosh. I am not the fastest when it comes to information. So when the essay at the Hermes boutique mentioned this, I just was like, okay. And I just went on looking and everything else. It was not that busy when I got there, but as time went on, it did pick up. I mean, it was getting packed. So at some point, I asked Hubs, I'm like, last year when we came, it just seemed like the boutique was just so much bigger. And he said, yes. She said they're under renovation. And that's when it dawned on me like, oh my God. So based on the boutique last year, I will say it was very, very nice size. I mean, a real good size boutique. And if they're doing renovations to make it bigger, oh my gosh, it's gonna be amazing. Just an FYI to you. Right now, if you go, they will still be having a renovation, and it's like a fraction of the size that it typically is. Just know, if you go, it's smaller, but it's because they are doing work on it. So definitely you should visit again after the renovations are done. Now, I will be there, be it fall or next year. Listen, I'm gonna show up. First things first, I did pick up a couple of items. Yes, you know what it is already. I did look at the shoes, I looked at their jewelry, I looked at everything. They did not have much of anything that interested me, so I'm gonna stop there. Last year I got that camel tone cape. Oh my gosh, this year they did not have any of that, and I don't know if it was just in the back what have you, but I do have a feeling they had ample stock because she kept asking me exactly what it was I was looking for so that she can go and look for it. So just another FYI. So this is the first item that I picked up. Of course, I asked for size 140. They did not have a size 140. I got this beautiful scarf. I will put the name below. This one is double-sided. To be honest with you, this is my favorite side. This is my favorite side. I love this scarf. Now, I did ask for the 140. I know I mentioned that already. I also asked for the scarf that I got in Monte Carlo with the golden brown border. I was hoping they had it in the red border. Seeing since Monte Carlo, I have not been able to find it. They did not have it. What was really interesting though is they did have the one I already have. A lot of the scarves I already had, and she was like, it sounds like you have a very fabulous collection. And I told her, yes, I do. I do. Moving on to the next. I mean, she let me go through all the drawers when it came down to it. After she showed me the 140s that they did have, I already had those. Here's the next one. I already had all of those, and even the shawl. She had the navy shawl that I already have. So she at some point was just like, you can look, feel free. It was definitely one of those moments where it was built trust, and she just understood. She was like, oh, you sound like, you know, but you know a lot. And I was saying, yeah, I know a little. This, let me say, I love this. I love the little red flowers. You find those in France, and I saw them on a daily basis when we went for our walks. And I love the gloves. I just love the colors of this. I love the colors of it. Now, if you know nothing else about me, you know that I am a fall baby. So yes, I love fall colors. I just do. So here we are. I got this one, and it also kind of resembles the scarf that I picked up with the gold border. Not really as close, but you know what? Close enough. Close enough. I was like, I can work with this. I can work with this. The last box. Yes. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Let me see something. This is really, I'm looking at my little romper and I'm like, is this? No, but it's nice. I love this. Here's the last one. Yes, I love this color. That I love. I don't know what it is about it, but I do. And of course the browns. Listen, I just told you. And the gold, come on. You knew this was going to happen. So yeah, we went through the scarf drawers and we roamed around. We did all the things. You know, they had they had enough stuff. I know that if the boutique was not under renovation, they would have had even more, because last year it was just so much more. And I did not feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go in really looking for anything. I went in to ask questions because I wanted to be able to inform you all of what is out there in the universe. Keeping that in mind, I asked a ton of questions. I started off asking about bags. I was like, well, what bags do you have? Because they did have the little section set up with bags. I will share a clip of the bags that I saw. And I really just, I don't know, I just was not in the spirit, or like, oh, there's something I really want. I mean, I just picked up 2 bags. The Mini Constance Exotic and then the Kelly Elan. I was like, I don't need any more emotional roller coasters when it comes to this. So I just asked, like, what do you have? And she shared with me a couple things. It wasn't anything that just popped off. The first thing she shared with me she said was a newer bag. So I will insert a picture of that. I did like the idea of that bag, but it was not for me. It was not it. That look of the piece that wrapped around, that belt that wrapped around the bag, really reminded me of the bracelets. But as far as functionality, I just could not. I showed it to Hubs. He was like, no. Immediately, just no. So that was the end of that. Then I tried to push a little bit more to see what they had. And she just was like, what are you looking for? Because we have so many things. And I was like, okay, you know what? Do you have any Constances? Because they did have a Constance on display. And I was just curious. And she was like, no, we don't. And I figured as much. As far as quota bags or high demand bags, it's just not what you find at the airport. It's just not. So I went ahead and I was like, well, you know, what about, I don't know. So she did go back and pulled a couple of other bags. So then she brought out a mini gypsy ear bag. And she actually brought out that bag in 2 different colors. I was close to saying yes, but I just was like, I don't know. Like, I put my phone in it. It fit perfectly. I was thinking, you know, I could use another mini bag for every day. So something to swap out with the mini Evelyn. But something just did not really click with me on that one. So I passed. Hubs was like, yeah, you know, it could potentially work. Maybe it was a leather because it was a smoother leather. I don't know. But what did catch my attention is the strap was secure. So you can't swap out the strap on that. Or the other bags that she shared. And that right there was like a no for me. I can't say as to why. I just was like, no. Now the gypsy ear, Hubs has that in a larger size because I owned it. And it just didn't really work out for me. So once I ended up getting other bags, I gifted it to Hubs. And he loves that bag. He carries that bag almost everywhere. I mean, he loves all his Hermes bags. I'm not even gonna lie. Even the one he just got, oh my God. He was like a little schoolboy carrying that thing around. Like, so cute. I love my husband. Okay, then I asked her about a mini Evelyn. Of course, it works for me, right? I carry this everywhere. This is the bag. When I'm out every day, this is what I carry. When I am traveling, this is what I'm carrying. So I just was like, it would make sense. And they had one on display. She was like, no, we don't have any mini Evelyns. I was thinking, what am I gonna do? So then I said, well, what do you have? We went back and forth for quite some time, even with SOGs. I did not mention that. I even asked about SOGs because the space that we were in looking at the bags were right on top of the SOG case. So I asked about that, and I really was looking for SOGs that matched my new pieces. They did not have anything, but she did show me an exotic wallet that was amazing, but it was in this like greenish olive tone. The hardware I do not believe was in palladium, and I'm happy it wasn't because I probably would have got it. I probably would have picked it up. But yes, we went through all the SOGs. There was nothing really that not even matched the bags, but didn't even compliment them. So I just was like, no, I'll just pass. So then she brought me this. As I stated, it is not in a box because of course we were getting ready to get on a flight. So I asked and requested that this item not be put in a box, even though she put the silk scarves in a box, which is perfectly fine. So I got this. Yes, I've got the bigger Evelyn bag. Oh my goodness. And if you watch my order content, you are well aware that I have this size already in the gold. Yes. And I don't carry this bag as often because I just don't know. But when I tried this one on, and it has the pocket in the back, see, This one's vintage, so there's no pocket in the back. And the strap, which I have not put on as yet, so let's go ahead and do that. I tried it on and I thought immediately, because I had my suitcase and I had my her bag, and I just was like, oh my god, this is the perfect pairing for traveling as well. I feel when I am in France and we are doing our road trips or what have you, this is going to be the perfect travel companion for that. And yes, the strap of course is removable. Yes, that is how it works with the Evelyn. This is what made it a yes for me. I showed it to Hubs and he just was like, oh my gosh, that matches your travel stuff so perfectly. And I was like, see, we just get each other. I am in love with this bag. Oh my goodness. And I love the fact that I can adjust this and swap it out. If I were to get another one, I could swap the strap out. Yes, the strap is canvas, but you know, I really do appreciate my Mini Evelyn, so I know this one is going to be a good bag. This is also going to be useful for my content creation as far as my iPads and my tech things. I can easily put them in here, and that's one thing Hubs reminded me, and I just was like, absolutely, that is going to work fabulously. So maybe I'll start carrying this one more, but because I really feel, and this is so petty, but I really feel I do not carry this one as much because first off, the leather is different. You see that? And then in addition to that, the hardware is gold. And remember, this is a vintage piece. Here is the hardware on the new Evelyn I have, and it's in palladium. So yeah, it checks all the boxes. It's my favorite color, it's black, and the hardware is palladium. I swear to you, I looked at this for so long because I was like, is this black or blue? Like, cause you know how Hermes has that new blue black tone? I was just making sure because even if it was blue, I probably would have still said yes as long as the hardware was palladium. This is my first non-quota bag of 2025, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Constance can fall in either category, but let's just be honest and be real. We all count it as a quota bag as long as it's not counting against us. But yes, this is the first bag I've gotten that is well, no, that's not true, because the Kelly Elan, okay, so the Kelly Elan and the Constance are both considered non-quota bags, but we all know that it all depends on how much stock is available and yada yada yada. As long as they're not counting it against us when it comes to the whole process, I don't care. But I'm just gonna say this is my first non-quota bag, okay? Let's just say that. Let's just say that. So I'm happy to have this and to add it. I cannot wait to begin to carry it. And that is all. I will also be putting the air tags in that bag as well. So yeah, it was really nice at the airport, and I did not have to jump through hoops, buy a lot of things. Listen, I got 3 silk scarves. All 3 of those are a size 90, and that was all I got. So if you're at the Paris airport, always stop by the Hermes boutique, okay? This is rule of thumb. Always stop by the Hermes boutique. You never know what you will find. I mean, sometimes you find the rare pieces, and I really like that. But then in addition to that, you do not have to do a lot to get a bag. Just go in and ask. That's what I did. I started off with the scarves, but ultimately I moved to the SLGs because I wanted to see if they had anything that matched the items, because you know I'm matchy. And then I just asked, and I asked because I have been planning to ask since we got to France. I'm not gonna lie, because I knew if nothing else, I could inform all of you of the odds and the availability. And I will say the odds are high. You have a real good chance of getting a bag there without making a ton of purchases. And the second thing is they have a good amount of stock. So just know that you should do your research, find out what terminal it is in, if you will be utilizing that terminal when it comes to your travels, yada, 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 okay? In the next video, I picked up a couple things from Chanel and Lunia, and I want to share those with you. So I hope you stick around to see what I picked up. And let's just say that video will be more of a spa vibe. I'm just going to put it out there so you know that is what it will be. And then after that, I have a couple other videos. I want to do another review of the Kelly Elan because so many of you had so much information to share when it came to that bag. I also want to share with you what I picked up from Rayona. Oh my God, yes, they have had their sale. I actually picked these pieces up before their sale, but that's only because I love supporting them regardless. But I do want to share with you the pieces that I picked up. I ordered these while I was still in France, so don't laugh at me, don't laugh at me. They have a couple pieces that they added, and it's a new line, and I just was like, I'm getting them now before they sell out. I just did not want to wait. It has not disappointed, so I cannot wait to share those with you. And I really feel that's the gist of the videos that are coming up. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. As per usual, thank you so much for joining me. In the meantime, in between time, as always, until next time,